My mom said, "Your sister's moving in with her 2 kids, so you need to go, you're a burden." I asked, "You're kidding, right?" She laughed and said, "No, I mean it." After 3 years of putting my entire life on hold, sacrificing everything to be there for my mom after my dad died, she called me a parasite. A parasite. And then, without batting an eye, she told me I had to leave because my sister, Jessica, who hadn't spoken to us in years, was moving in with her 2 kids. My jaw literally dropped. I actually laughed, thinking it had to be some kind of sick joke. But mom wasn't joking. Life before that conversation was pretty straightforward. I was the responsible daughter, the one who always did the right thing. When my father passed away from a sudden heart attack 3 years ago, it shattered our family. My mom, Barbara, just spiraled into a deep depression. Her health took a hit, arthritis flaring, blood pressure spiking, and she really struggled to keep up with the bills. Dad had some life insurance, but it wasn't enough to cover the mortgage and all their debts. I was living in a small apartment about 30 minutes away, working as an administrative assistant. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills, and there was potential for growth. When I saw mom struggling, the decision felt obvious. I gave up my lease and moved back into my childhood bedroom to help her get back on her feet. It'll just be temporary, I told myself, packing up my modest apartment. 6 months, maybe a year at most. That was 3 years ago. Since then, I'd fallen into a pretty rigid routine. I woke up at 6 a.m., made breakfast for both of us, and made sure mom took her medications. I drove to work, stayed late when necessary, and picked up groceries on the way home. Weekends were for cleaning the house, doing yard work, and handling all the maintenance issues Dad used to take care of. I even picked up a side gig doing bookkeeping for a few local businesses just to help with expenses. I was paying 70% of the bills, the mortgage, utilities, groceries, and most of mom's medical expenses not covered by insurance. The arrangement made financial sense for both of us, even though it meant putting my own dreams on hold. Despite the challenges, mom and I had actually grown closer. We cooked dinner together most nights, watching reruns of crime shows and discussing the cases like we were amateur detectives. We shared secrets and stories. On good days, she'd tell me about her adventures with Dad when they were young, before they had me and Jessica. I treasured those moments, seeing glimpses of the vibrant woman she used to be. My sister Jessica was a different story entirely. 2 years younger than me, she'd always been the wild child, impulsive and quick to anger. While I stayed close to home for college to help with family expenses, Jessica had moved across the country to California. After a string of failed relationships and job changes, she met a guy, got married quickly, and had 2 kids, Emma and Tyler. We hadn't seen her since Dad's funeral, and even then, she'd stayed only long enough for the service before rushing back to her life. "Your sister needs to find herself," Mom would say whenever I brought up Jessica's absence, especially during the holidays or when Mom needed extra help. "She's sensitive, different than you." I had my own dreams, modest as they were. I was slowly saving to start my own small business someday, a bookkeeping service for local businesses. I loved bringing order to chaos, making numbers balance, helping people understand their finances. But that goal seemed increasingly distant with each bill that arrived. My best friend, Rachel, constantly told me I was being taken advantage of. Full story on channel, link below. Watch what happened next.